I want to introduce you to Jacob Aldridge. And if you listen to Jacob's accent, you're going to probably notice that he's not from Boston or Louisiana. Jacob Aldridge is an international best-selling author and business advisor who empowers small and medium-sized companies and their owners. He has worked with leaders and teams around the USA, as well as the United Kingdom, Asia Pacific, and yes, Australia. Right now, many business leaders are worrying about the economy. Jacob has a clear message for them. Don't waste a good recession. I give you Jacob Aldridge.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you all for investing your time to be here today. Mike Tyson told us that everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Over the last 20 years, I've spoken in front of thousands of small and medium-sized business owners, and every single one of them had a plan. Now, a lot of their plans were up here, and plenty was sprinkled with fairy dust and moonshine, but they had a plan. Right now, inflation is high, confidence is low. Your gas bill is as far up as your 401k is far down, and business owners across America and indeed around the world are bracing themselves for a punch in the face. And that's the temptation, to curl up in a ball, brace for impact, go into survival mode. And that would be a mistake. And I'll tell you why. Because more opportunities are created in a downturn than at any other point in the economic cycle. If you're positive and you know how to respond practically, now is a great time to be in business, to thrive, not just survive. Now, today I'm not going to go through the full survey wall, but I will ask you one question. Right now, do you feel we are going into a recession? Do you feel we are already in a recession? Or do you feel that we are not going to have a recession this year? And while you ponder the answer to that question, I'm going to use the F word, feelings. Because feelings have a huge impact on the decision-making and communication of small and medium-sized business owners. When we appreciate that, we are much better placed to support them. And few things have as much impact on how a business owner feels as the economic cycle. So this is the economic cycle mapped not by GDP or inflation, but by feelings. So the answer to my question, did you feel we are not going to have a recession this year? Perhaps you feel we're still over here with some excitement, some optimism going on. Do you feel we're heading into a recession? The downturn has begun. Perhaps you're seeing denial from some of the people who answered differently. Or do you, like me, feel that we are already in a recession? I certainly feel we're somewhere here. There's a lot of fear and desperation out there, which means there's panic, capitulation, and some of those stronger emotions still to come. But not to come for all of us, because we all respond differently. And indeed, there are three ways that a business can respond to a recession. Some businesses will do this. They will dive. They will take that punch to the face. They will hit the canvas and they will never get back up. We may all be in the same stormy seas, but some business owners arrived in a leaky canoe. Many business owners will do this. They will survive. They will follow the economy down and they will follow the economy back up. They'll still be here in 2, 3, 4 years' time, but they'll still be the same business in 2, 3, 4 years' time. What I would encourage you to do and to support your members to do is to be this third type of business, the ones that thrive. They're not immune. They still take the punch, but they respond. They manage to grab the brand awareness and market share opportunities that are created right now to grow through a recession and to be growing when good times return. So how do you know? How do you know which of those three businesses you are in right now? Dive, survive, or thrive? Well, if you head to my website, I've got some special downloadable resources, including a free Are You Recession Ready quiz, jacobaldridge.com/showcase. Now, if you're working with other business owners, you may wonder, how can I tell from a distance how a business is ready for the recession that I feel we are already in? And the answer is how they respond emotionally and how they respond strategically. Dive business owners, they ignore their emotions, they bury their head in the sand, and they stop investing in the future, which is why they have a limited future. Survive business owners, well, they have those feelings, they react to those feelings. The good days are great, the bad days are really bad. And their investment strategy is what I call down low, too slow. They wait for the upturn to invest in the upturn, wait for growth to invest in growth. The Thrive business owner still has those feelings. They're aware of them, they acknowledge them, they're not a servant to them. And they continue to invest strategically through a recession. Maybe what they're investing in now is different to what they had planned 6 months ago, but they continue to respond positively. There's one thing I want you to take away from today, and that is this. You have some choices here. And the key way to make the right choices is to avoid the noise that a recession creates. And there is so much noise, whether it's 24-hour cable news or doom scrolling social media. It's hard to avoid the noise, but you need that anchor. You need that North Star to get you through. And that is your intuition. Not that all noise is bad. All of the training and thinking that you do feeds the intuition. All those feelings and emotions feed your intuition. Your greatest experiences and your biggest mistakes feed your intuition. And it's when hard times show up that you need to listen to your intuition to make it through. And I can give you plenty of noise. I can talk about the 4 transformations that a business needs to make during a recession, the 5 most common mistakes of a business at these times. I can talk about why association membership is a critical part of your recession response. And I can talk about the 10 key strategies that recession-proof any business. And for some business owners, that's the noise they need to feed their intuition, to give them the confidence to keep moving. For you today, just knowing that that guide exists is sufficient. And I want to leave you with a specific example of a business owner who did just that, who responded strategically and listened to her intuition. This is Ruth Wakefield. 1938 was the second recession of the Great Depression. Just when they thought they were out, it pulled them back in, which sounds kind of familiar. And at the time, Ruth and her husband Kenneth owned the Toll House Inn in a tourist town in Massachusetts and the Toll House Restaurant, which was known for its lobster dinners and fine desserts. Hardly a recession-proof business. Faced with that recession, Ruth asked herself, what can we do to respond? She used her culinary training and her business intuition and came up with this. The Toll House Cookie, a recession invention that had many, many benefits. First, it was small, it was cheap, it was a single serve. The Toll House Cookie was portable, which means that you didn't need to come, sit down and dine in her restaurant to buy a product from her. And perhaps most importantly of all, the Toll House Cookie didn't need a chef's training to produce. Housewives across America were able to bake these at home. And as a result of that simplicity, Nestle bought the rights to the Toll House Cookie recipe from Ruth Wakefield. Not a bad financial outcome for the middle of a Great Depression. Right now, you have some choices to make. Do you dive? Do you survive? Or do you respond? Again, if you want more information, jacobaldridge.com/showcase. Mike Tyson showed us. He got plenty of punches to the face and still became world champion. Ruth Wakefield's example is that when we respond positively, the ending can be pretty sweet. You can thrive right now, no matter what the news media and social media are saying. And I don't know about you, Ed, but that kind of looks like Evander Holyfield's ear. I'm going to leave it with you.
Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate that.